Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you my 2018 bullet journal setup, and I'm pretty excited about this one. It's pretty short because I just haven't been using as many pages as normal in my monthly setup, so I'm trying to maximize my space while keeping my productivity at like a good level for me, without just trying to do something because everybody else is doing it. So this month's setup only has 2 pages. Granted, they're bigger pages than your standard A5 because this is the Nuna, so the pages are a little bit bigger. So I have my cover page, which you see here, and then the following 2 pages are my calendar, habit tracker, and goals. And that's about what I've been using every month, and actually like using to the fullest extent, so that's what I just decided to go with for April. In this first page, you are seeing me attempt to draw a typewriter, an old school typewriter. I had found a picture on the internet a while back and I just saved it to my phone like probably a month and a half ago, and I was going through my pictures trying to delete some of them, and I found it and I was like, oh, that would be a great cover page for April. So I started just sketching it in pencil because I wasn't quite confident enough to do it in pen first, and that's good because I erased a lot. And then I went back through with my fine liner and some colors and added some colors and brightened it up a bit because it's April and I think that it's a month of bright colors, and I chose a pretty cool color scheme, at least I think so. So you'll have to wait and see in the next part of the video.
Bound only by frozen memories. It's fine. Racing all these broken dreams tonight.
Okay, so I skipped over the whole part where I inked this because it was already like a 45-minute video and it was taking forever, and I don't know about you, but I just don't, I stopped watching a video after like 15 minutes, so I didn't want to subject you guys to that. Obviously I just went through with my fine liner and outlined everything, and then I darkened up the 2018 with a thicker black marker, and now I'm just going through and adding color. The colors I chose are like a maroon or a burgundy shade from my Crayola Super Tips pack, and then this blush pink color from my Tombow set. It's number 772, and you can see that I kind of just colored over the entire thing, and that's because I figured it was going to take a lot longer to try to color around each of those ovals than to just go back and color over them in black marker. And at the time I didn't really think about it, but if you have really thin paper, if you do this too much, it could lead to bleeding, but luckily for me it didn't happen. So I was just thankful that it didn't bleed through to the backside. I didn't so much end up loving this gray color as much as I thought I would. I had tested all these out beforehand and thought it was going to look good, but then when I actually placed it next to that pink shade and was coloring it in, it was a little darker and cooler toned than I had imagined. So I wish I would have gone with something lighter, but you know, it is what it is. In my March setup video, I used the gold color of this Jelly Roll pen, and I kind of forgot to mention how much I love them. But if you've been looking for a perfect metallic pen, definitely check out the metallic pens from Jelly Roll. They are incredible, and I got mine at Michael's, so if you have a Michael's, you can probably get it there. If not, you can get it on Amazon, and I will leave the link in the description. Here I am starting to add some floral elements, and I'm just using my Zig Memory System writer pen with the 0.5mm end on it. I love this pen. I love how dark the ink is. I love the size of the tip. I know a lot of people prefer a finer point, but I tend to work with a little bit of a thicker point, usually a 0.3mm or a 0.5mm, so this one is perfect. And you guys probably know that I'm obsessed with florals, so this is an obvious choice for me to add some florals around it. Plus, if I'm being honest, the original design had some florals around it. I changed them up to make them more my style, but I added some, and I might even go back in and add some more. It's not in this video, but the top ends up being kind of empty in this image, so I may have to go through and add some more florals to it, and that wouldn't bother me at all. This is the next page in my April setup, and this is where everything that is important to me is housed, and I kind of like it that way. I mean, I miss having all the extra space of having multiple pages, and it's nice to have all that extra space, but the Nuna is so much bigger than the Leuchtturm or the Scribbles That Matter or any other A5 journal that it ends up being almost overwhelming, and because of the size of the dots, something like the Habit Tracker ends up being way too tiny on a page if I just go by dots, which I've been doing because it's the easiest method. So in this month's calendar setup, I am doing this really long, kind of awkward calendar, but I have a reason for it. In March, my fiance and I decided that we were going to start taking part in a couples fitness challenge, I guess you would call it. We're going to just see among the two of us who can lose the most percentage of body fat by the time that we have our bachelorette party in June. And so this is kind of my space to track my workouts and make sure that I'm kicking his ass, you know? So that's kind of the plan for this calendar spread, and it'll work fine for me. I don't need a ton of space because I have other spreads in my journal specifically dedicated to my health and fitness. This is just kind of my way to keep track of the month. Just to keep with the theme from the last page, I am going through and adding some more flowers and leafy stems. I am so in love with these little I don't know what you call them, buds. Yeah, little flower buds. They are my favorite to draw. They are so simple, but they're really delicate and pretty, and everybody knows that I'm all about delicate and pretty when it comes to my journal. Not so much in real life, but in my journal, I like to be delicate and pretty. This is my habit tracker. As you can see, it's super tiny. That just happens with these smaller dots. But this month, just because of my setup and the way that I'm laying things out, I did decide to go with a horizontal layout instead of the vertical that I did last month. And I'm sure it'll work fine. It doesn't really bother me either way. I do like the look of the vertical one better, but this definitely fits the page a lot better. And you get to watch me make these awesome dots again in fast motion. I wish it was as fun as it looks. Up in the left-hand corner, you can see the little bookmark key I made from last month that has all of my habits on it. And I just wanted to note that this month I changed those up a little. I'm still using like all the same habits. I just took a few out that aren't relevant this month. And so it's very common for me to have certain things that work one month and then things that don't work another month just due to scheduling or whatever's going on that month. Like for this habit tracker, I don't have an Etsy order thing on there because I shut down my Etsy shop so that I can do some revamping and kind of rebrand it. So this month I'm not really looking to get any Etsy sales, so that's not something that I really needed in my habit tracker. And this last part is just my goals section. I've mentioned it before, I just have this in every monthly spread. It kind of helps me stay on track, and I enjoy having it and being able to look at it, and I really like having it right next to my habit tracker because oftentimes my habits correlate with my goals. So like working out and trying to lose weight and win this challenge, but I like to have it right here, and this is plenty of space for me to write them down and be able to track them. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I will see you again soon.